You can call it cliche that I'm putting this galaxy at the bottom of the list, but Seaslide Galaxy is just not fun, man. The first 2 stars are alright, but they're almost the exact same thing. They're both about going around the whole planet by swimming and using Koopa shells, just under different circumstances. This also applies to the Cosmic Comet, since it's just a race like the second star, only this time you aren't going around the entire planet. The Secret Star is just a more difficult rehash of Hurry Scurry Galaxy in the Fountain, so it's not winning any points for originality there. And I don't think I really need to say much about the Silver Star or Purple Comet stars. Oh my god, these take forever. Seriously, why do you need to go around the entire planet in 4 of the 6 stars in this galaxy? Not to mention, you go around like half of it for the Cosmic Comet. This galaxy just feels so unnecessarily dragged out, and I don't look forward to it at all on repeat playthroughs. The only real compliment I can give this galaxy is that I like the actual design of it. A ring-shaped water planet with a planet in the center that makes it look like the water orbits around it? That's pretty neat. But besides a good design, this galaxy is boring. I could really do without it being in the game. Our first Bowser Jr. galaxy on the list, and unfortunately, it's a pretty low ranking one at that. This is the only galaxy in the game that I can say with full confidence was meant to be a filler galaxy. Like, this is just the first Bowser Jr. galaxy, which I'll get to soon, with a small section slapped in between and a different boss. Except, oops, the boss is a more difficult version of King Caliente from Good Egg Galaxy. You know, the first galaxy of the game? I think it's pretty evident that this galaxy is meant to serve as the level where you get the penultimate Grand Star and nothing more. At the very least, this galaxy doesn't drag on and on like Seaslide does, and I know that's because galaxies like these are only meant to have one mission, being the boss fight. But I prefer a galaxy that's boring and gets itself over with to a galaxy that's boring and drags itself out. Alright, before I start to rag on Goldleaf a bit for being a modified version of Honeyhive, let me just say, oh man, this galaxy looks so damn good. I'm a sucker for autumn-themed locations, and this galaxy is a wonder in that regard. But the autumn theming can only distract me for so long. This galaxy is, quite literally, just a reskinned Honeyhive galaxy from the Terrace, with a couple of beats taken from Gusty Garden Galaxy and Beach Bowl Galaxy. It doesn't really offer anything unique that wasn't already introduced in Honeyhive Galaxy. The bee suit? Already used quite a lot in Honeyhive. Flower platforms? Same thing. Hell, this galaxy's internal name is literally called Reverse Kingdom Galaxy. They don't even try to hide that it's just Honeyhive, but Autumn. The third star, as well as the Purple Comet, were pretty fun though. Especially since it has a fair amount of verticality, and the platforming segments that come with climbing up the tower were nice. But besides that, I don't think Goldleaf being this low is a terribly unpopular opinion. It's not bad, but I just wish there was more to this galaxy than simply being a reskinned Honeyhive. Maybe I'm just a bland person or something, but I honestly find Deep Dark to be one of the most forgettable main galaxies in the game. I don't know, does anyone else just forget that this place exists? I like the ghost ship set piece and the ensuing fight with Camilla in the first star, and especially the Daredevil Comet. But other than that, the other 2 stars are really nothing to write home about, especially the third star, since it's just you swimming after Guppy like in Seaslide. And the Purple Coin mission is, well, tedious, but what non-timed Purple Coin mission isn't? The Secret Star is pretty clever to find, but once you reach the actual area, it's just whatever and super easy to complete. I don't dislike Deep Dark, even if I find it to be one of the weaker galaxies in the game overall. I just forget about it most of the time. I'll usually just go, oh right, Deep Dark, whenever I enter the garden, and pretty much steamroll through it. Yet another Bowser Jr. galaxy, and yeah, this one is unfortunately ranked on the lower end of the list as well. If not for the fact that Megaleg is the boss of this galaxy, I probably would have ranked this below Lava Reactor. But since Megaleg is the boss of this galaxy, that saves it a little bit. Megaleg is such a cool boss fight. You get a quick glimpse of it in the terrace map, as well as when you're flying to the planet, but holy hell, getting to experience the actual scale of this boss fight, climbing up this giant robot that can barely fit itself on the planet it's standing on, it's awesome. Unfortunately, the fight itself is too simple and quick for my liking. I would have enjoyed a much more prolonged fight against Megaleg instead of just getting to the top in like 10 seconds and then destroying the casing of the Grand Star in 20 seconds. But even if I have my grievances with the boss fight, the spectacle alone is enough to keep this galaxy from being ranked lower. The first galaxy in the entire game, which serves as a tutorial level for the player. Obviously, being an introductory level, it teaches the player quite a few fundamentals of the game, with the big ones being walking around on spherical planets and the spin mechanic. I appreciate that they gave the players a lot of freedom in doing whatever they'd like on this starting planet, and getting you used to the gravity controls by playing hide and seek with the Star Bunnies is a fun way to ease the player into the main gameplay. And the music is just incredible too. It really gives you that sense of atmosphere and isolation in the deepness of space, but it also sounds oddly comforting, which really suits a quaint-looking planet that Rosalina holds dear to her heart. Oh, and the purple coin mission here sucks. It introduces you to Flying Mario, which is cool, but you barely ever get to use the power-up outside of this mission and the Comet Observatory, so what's the point? You could argue that this galaxy, being a tutorial first and foremost, should disqualify it from the list, but the fact that it has another star in it gets a pass from me. The first Bowser Galaxy that you visit, and although it's pretty short and simple, I think it's a good way of showing you what you're in for when a Bowser Galaxy is on the horizon. You've got tons of hazards you need to avoid, careful platforming with the gravity switching walls, and a hectic platforming section where Bowser tries to destroy the stairs you're climbing. The boss fight itself is relatively simple. You guide Bowser to stomp on these glass domes to ignite his tail, then you chase him down and spin into him afterwards. Repeat the process 2 more times, and the fight's over. Nothing overly complicated, but it didn't need to be. It's Mario after all. Also, the music here is so damn good. I love Koopa's Road in Mario 64, so them remixing it for this game and the Bowser Galaxies is just perfect. All in all, a solid level. Doesn't overstay its welcome, and it leaves an impression on you for future Bowser encounters. Maybe some of you were expecting me to put this galaxy lower on the list, or higher, I don't know how you think after all. But honestly, I really dig desert levels in 3D platformers. And even if I find this to be a weaker desert level than, say, Shifting Sandland from Mario 64, I still enjoy Dusty Dune. You've got some unique set pieces like the fast-moving sand slides, the two-sided disc planet, which has quicksand all over it, and the sinking tower that you have to climb to reach the star quickly. You've even got some unique mechanics like being able to spin in these tornadoes and turn yourself into a helicopter as you glide through the air. I think my main problem with Dusty Dune is that, kinda like Deep Dark, this is just one of the more forgettable main galaxies. And don't get me wrong, being forgettable doesn't mean it's bad. I just don't think it does anything outstanding to really make it more memorable than the 2 other main galaxies you find in the bedroom. Even with that snag of mine though, Dusty Dune's still a good galaxy. We've got the final Bowser Jr. Galaxy, and this one is easily my favorite. To me, this level feels as though you're intercepting a fleet of airships and stopping them from being able to conquer more parts of the universe, and I love that. The mission itself is quite simple, going from airship to airship with cannons and beating up some baddies as usual. But then there's the boss fight against Bowser Jr. himself. Even though it doesn't have the spectacle or scale of Mega Leg, this one feels much more interactive and hectic. Dodging cannonballs, fireballs, Magic Koopa attacks, bullet bills, it truly never lets you breathe, and it's great. Plus, being able to beat that little shit as he's constantly taunting you was satisfying. I feel like this should have been the gold standard for the other Bowser Jr. galaxies to follow. A good length with plenty of things to do, and a fun boss fight at the end that feels as though Bowser Jr. is throwing everything he has at you. Good job, Airship Armada. You're pretty cool.
Killing me won't bring back your goddamn honey!
But I know it will!
I know most people will think of Honey Hive and immediately point to B Mario and say it's a terrible power-up. But I don't really mind it all that much. Yeah, the controls can be a bit of a pain and feel sluggish, but I personally didn't think it was that bad. And I like how this galaxy gives you so much freedom on its opening planet to play around with B Mario to your heart's content, not really imposing that many restrictions on where you're allowed to go. And sure, the purple coin mission is a slog and probably should have just been linear and timed. That's probably the only thing that'll give to Gold Leaf over Honey Hive. Its purple comet wasn't exactly a time waster like this one is. But the fact that the game goes out of its way to encourage you to explore every nook and cranny of the planet is a bit of a nice touch. Especially if you didn't use the opportunity to do so in the first star. You'll end up finding secrets you didn't even know about. Plus, you get to save Luigi in this one. And, of course, any galaxy that has Luigi in it automatically brings it up one letter grade. So yeah, Honey Hive is a pretty good galaxy, even if B Mario is a somewhat divisive power-up. I'm usually pretty mixed on water levels in 3D platformers. Some are pretty good, others are not. But for me, I think Beach Bowl falls neatly into the former opinion. The vibe of this galaxy is just so joyful and uplifting, and the music is a very big part of that. It's always a joy to listen to some beach and or summer themed music in games like these. That said, why the hell are there penguins here? I mean, they're cute and they're a nice addition to this galaxy, but I don't understand the reason behind their inclusion. The stars themselves are pretty decent. Sunken Treasure and wall jumping up waterfalls are probably my favorites. Yeah, the purple coin mission here is, once again, a bit of a drag, but at the very least, you've got the upbeat music to accompany you the whole time, so I don't mind it too much. You really can't go wrong with Beach Bowl. Holy shit, this is one of the most disturbing death animations in Mario ever! Anyways, ignoring Mario's disintegration, this Bowser Galaxy is a step up from Star Reactor in pretty much every way. More unique and interesting platforming with more challenging gravity swapping set pieces, and the boss fight, while mostly similar, does stand on its own a bit by having Bowser perform more attacks than he did before. This spin attack is so goddamn annoying sometimes though, so it can go right to hell. Not much more for me to say about this level, honestly. I do wish that we could have seen the Dark Matter obstacle be used in more levels outside of this one though. I think it would have been interesting to see some of the other ways it could have been used. But still, I think this is a fun level to go through. It's even a little longer than Star Reactor was, so that's another point in its favor. Oh my god, guys, look, it's the Luigi's Mansion reference. Oh man, Luigi's Mansion, ha ha ha, Luigi gets trapped! So yeah, Ghostly Galaxy is a pretty neat galaxy. Obviously, the most memorable mission is where you're saving Luigi from inside the mansion, as well as the introduction of Blue Mario, which... It's not my favorite power-up by any means, but I still think it's decent. Meeting the spooky speedster and racing against him for the first time was pretty fun. And of course, there's the battle against Bouldergeist, which I think is one of the better designed bosses between both Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2. His Daredevil Comet is a great challenge as well. It feels difficult in a way that's not totally unfair, and I like that. Also, the purple coin mission here can fucking eat dirt. I hate this one. I've always loved the idea of you infiltrating a massive space base, and despite pulling many elements from Battle Rock, Dreadnought Galaxy is still an awesome level. Zipping and zooming to all sorts of different areas around the Dreadnought is fun, and the section inside it is really fun as well, even if a big part of it is skippable with good timing. Sure, reusing an entire star with the gear mode trash heap isn't exactly great, but I think all of the other stars make up for that. Even the purple coin mission is pretty fun, and I especially love that it trolls you at the end by thinking you miss one, only to collect the final purple coin on the way to the end. Nice one, devs. I would talk about the music here, but I think I'll save that for when I talk about Battle Rock. But just know, this track is my absolute favorite track in the entire game. You might not be as good as your older brother, Dreadnought, but you're still pretty good.
Well, this is new. Showing remorse, Eggman? If you played nice, I wouldn't have to break all your toys.
Gotcha!
What?
Alright, I know that this is probably going to be my most controversial placement, but I still really like Toy Time Galaxy. The theme of being in this huge children's play space with all of these toys and sweets and whatnot is such a creative concept for a level that I feel like only a series like Mario can masterfully pull off. In fact, I don't think there's any one bad star in this galaxy. Even the infamous Purple Comet is fun because of how challenging it can be, on top of the fact that you aren't so pressured to miss as few coins as possible, and can basically draw whatever path you want to finish the level. You can miss a whole third of the total coins here and still turn out fine. I just think that this galaxy is somewhat hindered by the introduction of Spring Mario. Yes, I'm one of those people who dislikes this power-up as well. I know it's designed to feel clunky and awkward to control, but that doesn't mean I can't dislike clunky and awkward controls. If it weren't for Spring Mario just feeling like a nightmare to control sometimes, I feel like this galaxy would pretty easily be in my top 3. But yeah, unfortunately, Spring Mario does bring it down a bit, in my opinion.
Egg.
I don't think there's a whole lot that needs to be said about Good Egg that so many other people before me have already said. Being the first proper galaxy in the game, it serves as a great introduction to the game's more fleshed out platforming after you've gotten used to the basics in Gateway Galaxy. You fight Dino Piranha, your first boss, become familiar with the Hungry Lumas, and this is most likely the galaxy that introduces you to Prankster Comets with its Speedy Comet. Even the purple coin mission in this one isn't bad. Being the first purple comet you're going to play, it isn't too long or tedious, which I think should apply to all purple comets like this one. And, of course, the music! One of the most magical and grand sounding pieces ever composed for a video game. It's just so damn good. Good Egg really is just good. It's fun, doesn't drag on with its levels, and as the first proper galaxy, it leaves an impact on you when you're playing through it for the first time, setting the standard for the rest of the game to come. Nothing much more for me to say, really. here we are, the final showdown against Bowser in the final level. And oh man, this is one hell of a gauntlet. Galaxy Reactor throws just about every mechanic that you've learned over the course of the game at you non-stop, and it's fantastic. Gravity switching, fire and lava, ice skating and moving blocks, quicksand, that final section where you're going through this long cylinder filled with lava, thwomps, bullet bills and bonsai bills, and finally reaching the final launch star, it's just so good! Not to mention, the music is superb. It really amplifies the atmosphere and fills you with the confidence to face against Bowser one more time. You will defeat him, and you will save Peach in the universe. And the final boss is great too, introducing some new gimmicks to the Bowser fight that wasn't previously there, like him, turning into a boulder, as well as him curling into a shell and rolling at you super fast. And then, of course, ending with the tried and true formula that you've dealt with twice before to land the finishing blow and close out the game. Everything about this final level is awesome and iconic. Also, can we talk about how Mario walks into this level instead of flying in? That's how you know shit's about to get real. Let's be honest, I feel like there's no reason for me to go too in-depth about Gusty Garden. The stars are fun, the areas are so vibrant and joyful to play in, the gimmicks you find here are pretty creative, and, of course, the music. Easily the most iconic song from this game's soundtrack, and one of the most iconic tracks in the entire Mario franchise. I don't have much else to say, so I'll just let the music play until it reaches its first loop. Whenever people are talking about Mario Galaxy's atmosphere and loneliness, I know you've seen those videos pop up every once in a while, I think most of us can agree that the first galaxy we think of is space junk. It's probably the most accurate feeling of the isolation of space. You're basically all on your own, surrounded by rocks, literal junk, a non-functional spaceship, set to the background of deep dark space, all the while one of the most calming, slow, and melancholic pieces of Mario music plays in the background. I don't think there's any other galaxy in this game that really gives you that sense of isolation like this galaxy does. It's so immersive, and I love everything about it. The stars in this one are fun, and I especially love the area that has blocks appearing and disappearing as you move along, which makes for a pretty fun set piece, not knowing where exactly in front of you is safe. And, of course, who could forget the secret star, where you visit a planet of Yoshi's Head. Space Junk is such an iconic level, and there's a good reason why people remember it so fondly. This is the final main galaxy that you unlock in a dome, and in the final dome no less. Melty Molten feels like Nintendo giving you a great challenging romp the whole way through. While this galaxy might not be that difficult in the grand scheme of things, it is pretty difficult in comparison to the rest of the game. especially the Daredevil Comet, which has you going through the entire first star on just 1 HP. Mind you, this is the only Daredevil Comet in Galaxy 1 that makes you do this. It really just decides to throw the entire kitchen sink at you, and I love it. It's probably the only star I consistently struggle on, even on repeat playthroughs, because of how many hazards you need to watch out for. This is also the only time that the star ball appears in a main galaxy, and I think its implementation here is just right. The section you use it in isn't overly long, probably only taking you a minute at most to complete, but it still poses a challenge if you haven't gotten used to the controls of the star ball. Also, can we just talk about the cinematic feeling in this level? Because, oh my god, these angles used in the launch star sequences are gorgeous! Flying away from the main planet as the volcano erupts behind you and continues to erupt in the background, flying under these fireballs as they leave trails of flames behind, and coming up on the lava spire from below, getting this amazing shot of it from far away, it's perfect! The music is great as well, sounding foreboding and intense the whole way through, giving off the feeling that this final level wants to test your skills. I love it all.
Gee, I got a candy bar. Boy, I got 3 cookies. Hey, I got a package of gum. I got a rock.
You know how I praised Dreadnought Galaxy's concept of infiltrating huge space bases? Yeah, just take all of that and apply it to this galaxy since it did it first, and better in my opinion. Like I already mentioned, Dreadnought takes a lot of elements from Battle Rock, with some liberties of course, but I feel like Battle Rock is just a more fun and simpler experience. Moving along the outside of the base on a saucer near the huge array of cannons, heading inside the base and using a cannon to free a Luma, which leads to part of the base exploding, and the same thing happens in the 3rd star, leading to you fighting Top Maniac for the first time? Ugh, it's just so cool! And then, of course, there's the music. I alluded to it earlier with Dreadnought, but this song is my favorite from the soundtrack. It's an arrangement of space fantasy, but with a militaristic marching feel, which really sets the tone for when you're actually inside the base and basically destroying it afterwards. Oh, and this is the galaxy with the Gizmo trash star. I know some of you watching this struggled with the star as a kid, don't lie, I was one of those kids as well. But while Battle Rock is an awesome and great galaxy, there's still one that I consider to be superior to it. And if you've done Process of Elimination, you know which one it is by now. That's right, people. Freeze Flame Galaxy is my favorite galaxy from Super Mario Galaxy. Yes, I did say Galaxy 3 times in a row there. Not only is this one of the most creative levels in the entire game, but I legitimately don't think there are any bad stars in this galaxy. And yes, that includes the Purple Comet as well. It starts you out with an ice-focused star and climbing up a huge mountain to face off against Baron Burr, then it shifts to a lava-focused star, putting you in the center of this gigantic planet of magma, and for the third one, they quite literally collide, making for some of the most interesting and awesome set pieces in the game. In my opinion, these levels are where the ice and fire flowers are used to their fullest potential. The Cosmic Comet here is my favorite of all the Cosmic Comets, and it's so much fun to try and optimize your path to get to the star as fast as possible, especially against Cosmic Luigi. And while some people aren't really fond of either the Secret Star or the Purple Comet, I love both of them because of the sheer verticality. This is probably the single highest point you're ever going to reach on any given planet. While the music isn't as iconic as Battle Rock, Space Junk, Good Egg, and especially Gusty Garden, I find both of these tracks to be fitting and atmospheric. And when they swap between the two and Hot and Cold collide as you move from one half of the dual planet to another, it's just immaculate. Also, the skybox of this level being an aurora, absolutely gorgeous. I really have nothing negative to say about this galaxy. And sure, I didn't have anything negative to say about the previous galaxies, but I seriously mean it with Freeze Flame. This is basically as close to a perfect galaxy as you can get in this game, in my opinion. And yeah, that's it for the video. I thought I'd try something a little different this time, so if you guys want to see more of this kind of content from me, then give the video a like, subscribe, all of that stuff. Not much else for me to say at the end here, so thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you all in the next upload. Peace!